Assalamu alaikum. Hello everyone. In this tutorial we will talk about the different types of substitution matrices which are used to build alignment. We will just discuss the concepts because always there's question arise in your mind, and whenever you are filling a matrix, that whether what type of substitution score I should use for aligning a sequence. Either it is a gap score, it's a match score, it's a mismatch score. And if you know that you can use BLOSUM or PAM substitution matrix, then why actually we have selected that matrix, and what is actually the background of that matrix. So for that, let's say we'll talk here mainly about two main substitution matrices. Number one, if I just change the color, number one is PAM substitution matrix, that is known as point accepted mutation. So how this point accepted mutation matrix is substitution matrix is calculated or generated. So let's go back to the history that if you remember that when we were talking about the history of bioinformatics, we talked about one name of a that was Protein Atlas database. This database was made in 1970s, back in 1970s, by one of the very famous scientists with the name Margaret Dayhoff, right? She actually built a protein matrix, and for all the available proteins at that time. And she was also the creator, or you can say the who proposed this point accepted mutation matrix. And how she actually built it was that she actually used all the sequences available at that time, protein sequences, and she put them in an alignment. For example, if we say these are multiple sequences, and using these sequences, for example, if there is probability of T here, and then there is a probability of alanine A here, or then A here, or then maybe there is a probability of any other nucleotide, amino acid at this site, this site, or this site. So based on all the sequences, protein sequences available, so on, she actually calculated the frequency of the occurrence of each amino acid at each position, or you can say that the frequency of change of any amino acid at any site. For example, the conversion or mutation of change from T to A, or conversion of A to T, or conversion of Y to F, or F to Y. So the frequency at each site, all the sites were calculated, and that actually that frequency of the change or mutation was then stored in a matrix, so that we can estimate that there is a high possibility of the change at this site of this nucleotide based on the available protein sequences. So what actually were the available protein sequences at that time? At that time, Margaret used to generate this point accepted mutation matrix 71 protein families, and these families actually all this and she actually aligned all these families and calculated the rate of mutation at each site. And then the protein families which you used were around were more than, can say, 85% similar, or you can say that the sequence level they were equal or greater than 85% similar. And she identified around 1572 mutations, possible mutations, or you can say at change at each site, using this whole information. And she generated a PAM matrix score. And the other substitution matrix which we know, actually this was BLOSUM. This substitution matrix was generated by another scientist with the name with the group of scientists, but with the name Henkoff, if you know. maybe sorry if I do not write the spelling right, you can just check it. And he actually proposed the BLOSUM matrix, and this was actually in this matrix was proposed in 1990s, and this was proposed in back in 1970s. So she worked on this for a very long time. Even after the 70s, Mark Dehoff was working on these different types of substitution matrices. And for BLOSUM, actually BLOSUM was is a bit different conceptually, but mainly the idea is more or less same. And here actually it means that Hankoff came up with an idea that if we are comparing multiple different sequences like this, right, and we want to check whether there's a possibility that at each site, for instance here in different nucleotides amino acid sequence, there are sites where there are, you can say, conserved domains, right? Like there are some regions inside a protein sequence which are, you can say, conserved compared to the other sequences. These regions are, for example, these regions have means that the conserve means that there are a fewer number of changes occur, and in this sequence, in this region, compared to the rest of the sequences, here the number of substitutions are less. So we call these regions as domains, right? And these domains are actually, you can say, domains or blocks are actually more conserved, and based on this conserved sites, the BLOSUM substitution matrix is actually was generated, that the percent identity of the proteins at any particular site, which means that the number of possibility of any amino acid to occur at a particular site again, and or you can say that at any particular site, how much any amino acid is conserved and it will not substitute. Or you can, if you talk about the PAM matrix, here you actually calculate the probability of mutation at each site, right? And here in the BLOSUM, you actually calculate the probability of conservation of each site. Both have get the all more or less similar outputs, but the idea is one is for mutation and one is for conservation. And if we write it more simplistically here, for instance, if we say that if we are talking about PAM, so there are different types of PAM matrices which are already generated, and there are different types of BLOSUM matrices which are generated. For example, if we say that there is a PAM 100, PAM 120, this will make you this will make things more clear, that 100, 160, and then, for example, so on 250. And for BLOSUM matrices, there is 80, or you can say 62, 52, 45. So these are different BLOSUM matrices with BLOSUM 80, BLOSUM 62, and PAM 100. Here PAM 100 actually means that, or 250 actually means that 250 number of mutations per 100 amino acids. So it means that in 100 amino acids, there is a possibility of 250 mutations. It means that 2.5 per amino acid change is possible according to PAM 100, PAM 250. And PAM 100 means that 100 number of mutations per 100 amino acids. Similarly, for BLOSUM, it means that that is opposite to what, because here we're talking about the changes and here we are talking about the conservation. So it means that, for example, 45 means that 45% identity, of the proteins proteins used. It means that the sequences which we are comparing, there's a possibility of 45% identity. So we can select, for example, it means that 100 PAM 100 is more it can be used for more conserved sequences compared to 250, because 250 the number of mutation rate is high. So either PAM 100 is more conserved, and here you can see the BLOSUM 80 or BLOSUM 90 means that there's a 90% identity between the two sequences. So here 90 is for lesser the BLOSUM, higher the BLOSUM number, higher is the identity. Lower the PAM number, higher is the identity. So there is two simple differences. So we can use both. For example, if we are aligning two sequences and we want to calculate the score of the alignment of two sequences, we can use this matrix, or we can use this, that depends. But so 90, if we are for instance, if we are comparing human and chimpanzee, and we can use BLOSUM 90 because they are already 90% identical, so the number of changes estimate number can be used using of any match or mismatch or gap can be used using BLOSUM 90. However, the most widely used substitution matrix in all the alignments is BLOSUM 62, and BLAST tool most famously use this BLOSUM 62 matrix, substitution matrix, to build the alignment. So in the next section of the lectures, I will show you the matrix, that how the scores are arranged in the BLOSUM or PAM substitution matrices, and we will use that to build the alignment. So I think it's enough for today. Thank you.